Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Edu Magic Learning with Miss Lois. Today we're going to explore a poem. We're going to be exploring this poem, A Day at School. But before we do that, let's talk about poem. What do you know about poem? Well, poems are a special kind of writing that uses rhythm, rhyme, and figurative language. In this poem, we are going to be exploring three figurative languages: simile, metaphor, and idiom. Please note that poems are written in what we call lines and stanza, unlike stories that are organized in paragraph. So when we're referring to poem, we are going to be talking about stanza instead of paragraph. All right? Now, let us read the poem together. A Day at School. My mind is a sponge, soaking it all. I'm as bright as the sun in the school hall. When work gets hard, I don't lose my cool. I put my best foot forward. That's my golden rule. Now, before we identify any figurative language, first of all, we have to identify who is the speaker. Who do you think is talking in this poem? The speaker in this poem is a student. This student is talking about a day in the life of a day in their life when they are at school. How do I know? What clues in the poem suggest that this poem is the person in this poem who is speaking is a student? Well, I see the words my, I see I, and I also see am. All right, and if we were to delve deeper, we could say my mind is a sponge. When work gets hard, I don't lose my cool. I put my best foot forward. So basically, this student is talking about him or herself when they are at school, what they do when the work gets too hard, overbearing or too hard. So right then and there, we know that the speaker in the poem, the person who is speaking in the poem, is a student. Now, let us look at figurative language. The first figurative language that we're going to be exploring today is simile. Now, what is a simile? A simile is a comparison using as or like. So you're comparing two unlike things using as or like. Now, in the first stanza, remember, poems are arranged in two stanzas. Let us look closely at stanza 1. In stanza 1, there are 4 lines in stanza 1. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let us look at line 3. Line 3 says, I'm as bright as the sun. This is a simile because the child is comparing him or herself to the sun. What the child is saying, or what the student is saying, is that he or she is smart, happy, and very energetic when moving through the hallways of the school. So now that we have identified a simile, let us see if we can identify a metaphor. But before we can identify a metaphor, what is a metaphor? Just like simile, metaphor also compares. However, metaphor does not use as or like. So metaphor is a comparison. You're comparing two unlike things without using the words as or like. Now, in the first stanza, first line, it says, my mind is a sponge. My mind is a sponge. The student is comparing his or her mind to a sponge. What do you know about sponge? Sponge absorbs water easily. So what the student is saying here is that he or she absorb information easily. Like when the teacher is talking, when the teacher is teaching, they learn the information quickly and easily. All right. And then the last figurative language that we are going to be exploring is idiom. Now, what is an idiom? Unlike simile and metaphor, idiom does not compare. What it does, idiom is really a phrase what it is saying is not literally, there's a meaning behind it. It doesn't literally mean what it is saying. There's a hidden meaning behind it. So if I should say, I'm gonna spill the bean, I'm not literally going to spill the beans. I'm going to be telling your secret. That's what it means. So in this case, let us go to the second stanza. In the second stanza, line 1, line 2, line 3, let us look closely at line 3. I put my best foot forward. In this case, the student is not literally putting his or her foot forward. That's not what he's doing. What he's talking about, or she's talking about, is that they are doing their best. They're at school, they're giving it their best shot. They're doing their best. That's what I put my best foot forward in this case means. All right, now that we have explored the figurative languages, let us dive into rhyme. Are there any rhyming words in this poem? Now, boys and girls, rhyme gives the poem its rhythm, and it also gives the poem its beat. It makes the poem fun to read. So let us look in the first stanza. In the first stanza, we're going to be looking at the last word in each line. So we're going to be looking at the last word in each line, and we're going to see if there are any words that rhyme. So the last word in line 1 is sponge. Last word in line 2 is all. Last word in line 3 is sun. And the last word in line 4 is hall. Now, the only pair of rhyming word in stanza 1 we have is all and hall. Those two words rhyme. Now let us go to stanza 2. In stanza 2, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be looking at the last word in each line, and we are going to be seeing if there are any rhyming words. All right, so we have hard, we have cool, we have forward, and we also have rule. Now, in the hard and forward does not rhyme. Hard, forward, those two words does not. We have cool and rule. Cool, rule. Yep, that's a pair of rhyming words. So we have cool and rule as a rhyming word. Now that we have identified rhyming words, what we're going to be doing next is we are going to be finding a rhyme scheme, or we're going to be writing a rhyme scheme. Now, all we're going to be doing is looking at the last word in each line, and we're just going to be assigning a letter of the alphabet to each sound. We are going to start with letter A. So let's go back to the first stanza. Now, line 1 word is sponge. So we're going to start by saying A. So sponge is A. Line 2, the last word is all. Now, all does not rhyme with sponge, so we're going to say B. The next letter would be B. Then we go to sun. Sun does not rhyme with all and sponge, so we're going to move on and give it another letter, which is C. And then here we have hall. And boys and girls, hall rhymes with all. And because it rhymes with all, this and this has the same letter, so this would be B. How do we write the rhyme pattern or the rhyme scheme? All we are going to do is just write it back. So it would be, the rhyme scheme right here would be A, B, C, B. So for stanza 1, A, B, C, and B. Let us see if we can identify the rhyme scheme for stanza 2. We could continue if we were to identify the rhyme scheme for the entire poem, but since we're just doing stanza, let us just look at stanza 2 on its own. Stanza 2. So we're going to start again with letter A. So we have hard. We have cool. Cool doesn't rhymes with hard. So we're going to assign a next letter, which is B. And then we have forward. Forward does not rhymes with cool. It does not rhymes with hard. So we're going to assign letter C. And then the last one is rule. Rule does rhymes with cool. And because it rhymes, it's the same sound. So we're going to put letter B. If you were being asked to write the rhyming scheme, all you gotta do is just to write it out. The rhyme scheme in this case is A, B, C, and B. Now, boys and girls, we have just explored how to do a rhyme scheme. We have also explored how to find the speaker in a poem and how to identify idioms, simile, and metaphor. Now that you know how to do it, go and explore on your own.